Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. What you up to? What you having for tea? Let me know what you're having for tea in the chat below. I haven't decided yet, so I am open for inspirations. Right, we have got a couple of things on the agenda though, in terms of outs, and there's no surprise, they are on the thumbnail. So forgive me for not really giving you a big surprise here, but you know, it's Jadon Sancho and Anthony Martial, but there is a third. We'll get into those in just a second. So Patrick Berger has said Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United have reached an agreement for the 6-month loan of Jadon Sancho. He will arrive in Dortmund in the next few days. Wheeler in the Mirror has said United will pay up to 100 grand of Sancho's 290k a week while he is on loan at Dortmund. I can fuck with that sound. And that's it. You know, I think this has been a shit show from all around, and I don't think United are innocent in this, and I certainly don't think Jadon Sancho's innocent in this. I think everyone's got a dirty hand involved in it, but I think this is step one of us moving beyond players that maybe haven't got the right character to play for Manchester United. And it's sad because when it comes to ability, I don't think there's a question mark about Jadon Sancho's ability. When it comes to character, I think the last year has shown us that there are question marks, and he'll probably end up plying his trade elsewhere. It is what it is. I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. I was super excited about seeing him in the United shirt. Watched him as an academy player at Manchester City. Thought he was electric. Thought he was electric at Dortmund, and couldn't wait to see him in a United shirt. I thought he was a United player in waiting, but the mental side of the game is such an important thing that people totally overlook at times. And mentally, I don't think he's got it. I think when it comes to technical ability, no, there's no question there whatsoever. When it comes to mental ability, which is such an important part of the game. I mean, like, look at Kobe Mainoo at the moment, right? Just getting praised out of his arse because what? Keeps it really simple. His decision making is elite, and I think that's such an underrated part of football. You look at the F2 freestyler guys, infinitely better technical footballers than Gary Neville, right? Why couldn't either of them have done the sort of thing Gary Neville did as a footballer? Well, you can't make the right football intelligence decisions that Gary Neville would have made as a footballer, because you didn't have that ability, you didn't have that drive, you didn't have that wherewithal, that awareness. So there's so much more to being a footballer than just your tricks and your skills. And I think, Kobe Mainoo demonstrating that he's got it. Jadon Sancho's demonstrating that he doesn't. Anyway. The other waste of space, Anthony Martial. Fenerbahçe news outlet saying Fenerbahçe are trying to hold a meeting with Anthony Martial this week. If Martial agrees to join them, Fenerbahçe and United will close a deal easily due to their good relationship. And Ahmet Konac says Fenerbahçe and United are in negotiations for Martial. Turkish side have asked for United to extend his contract by 1 year and loan him them for 6 months. I don't understand that sentence. The Turkish side have asked United to extend his contract by 1 year and loan him them for 6 months. And then what happens after the 6 months when he's turned out for you 3 fucking times and got injured? And then we're stuck with a fucker for another year. No, you can have him on loan. How about that? But we're not. I think it's an absolutely mental decision, unless you're going to agree to loan him them for 18 months. But it doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense at all, does it? If we're being honest with ourselves. And then the third one, a little bit of a surprise. Someone that's certainly highly rated, but hasn't yet had a look in at the club. And some people would be go, do you know what? He's probably right to be a little bit disappointed. And again, this is another player with the technical ability is absolutely there. For his age, the mental ability seems like it was there as well. Hasn't had a sniff in the first team, no, and that is Isaac Hansen Aaron. And supposedly he's considering his future amid the ongoing frustration at United. Disappointed not to be involved last night. And this is Rich Faith from the MEN, so with it being the MEN, take it with a pinch of salt. But supposedly Ajax, Atletico Madrid and Napoli amongst others, have expressed an interest in signing him should he decide to leave United. United want him to sign a new 4.5-year deal, but the terms offered so far don't come close to the packages he could expect to receive elsewhere. So it'd be interesting to see if we're going down the route of, well, you want to play here first and get paid second, then I would expect him to be out the door. It's also interesting that we haven't seen him feature in the first team yet. Like, first team minutes are generally wielded a little bit like a bribery tool. Do you want to play here? Do you want a first team contract? Well, we can withhold your minutes until you sign, or we can say, well, if you sign, we'll make sure you get 5 substitute appearances before the end of the season. Things like that are very often brought into the negotiations with players. So it'd be interesting to see if he does appear on the bench once or twice around this negotiation as United are trying to convince him to stay. Now, I think that there's a good chance he probably isn't United standard. The fact that he's just not been seen, I think you've got to think, he's probably way behind the likes of Mainu and Mabry and Gore. And not every player can make it, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments what's happening with views. I'm going to go back to the start, see what people are having for their tea. Soup and a baked potato, said Daniel Darks. Just finished work, says Napovels. Brazilian feast. Oh, I'm jealous. Chicken fillets and salad, says Jay Turno. Barbecue wings, says the Whistle. Shepherd's pie, says Daniel Berry. Lasagna, says Floyderman. 2 things I haven't had in a long time, shepherd's pie and lasagna. English breakfast with oat milk. I'm assuming they're separate vessels that those are in. Chicken wrap, says Fitness Balance. Bangers and mash, says Notch. Nothing mad today. Bean chili for tea, says Thomas Kelly. Guinness for tea. Nice. Chippy, says Linda. Oh, I could fuck with Chippy. Hip Hop Chip Shop's not open on a Tuesday, I don't think, though. Bastards. Is it just loans? I sent it's just loans. Oh, right. Oh, isn't it just loans? I thought someone was saying I'm having loans for tea. Weird. Lemon chicken and pasta, says Stephen O'Leary. Just woke up, 6:08 a.m. in New Zealand. Good morning. Ebby says I'm having a barbecue. Do you know what? That's one thing that anyone living around the equator or people that live in places that are, which is the equator, let's be honest, generally warm most of the year round. Alex says I'm having a spliff and a brew. Fair play. Is that just ability to be able to just fucking chill in your garden all year round, no matter the weather? Like, I was walking from the car park to the office today and I was freezing. And I had a big coat on. It was just fucking freezing. Like, what is the temperature here at the moment? Can't see. I haven't got the screen installed on this one that has all the thingies on it. Let me get my phone out. It is 4 degrees right now. Feels a lot colder than that with the wind. Daniel says, was in Spinningfields today for work and Christ was it cold. In says it's -4 here. Who's got snow? I want some snow. I feel like I'm cheated when it's just freezing and wet and windy. If you give me snow, I don't know what it's. Snow feels crisp and clean, doesn't it? Not dirty, muddy, windy, leaves hitting you in the fucking face. That's shit, innit? Manny says, good morning from California. Santa says, some Italian mates of mine long for the cold English weather. Why? Jen says 16 degrees Celsius here. It snowed here in New Jersey. Nice. Rami says, I'm from Egypt and summer is insane. 45 degrees as a baseline, but the rest of the year is -1 month of winter is shorts and sunglasses season. Top. It hasn't snowed in Manchester. No, not yet. No, it's not yet. Austin says, I have 3 feet of snow and it's -16 in Wisconsin. See, I fucking love that shit. 15 centimeters of snow coming tomorrow in East Canada. Jace Parker says 24 degrees Celsius. That's where Jay sets the thermostat. Ken says woke up to a white world. Minus 17 outside yesterday. Fucking hell. Kurt says, I want Dango and Hannibal to get into this side so badly. I think you'll see him getting minutes off the bench. IMJ says 1.5 meter of snow in northern Norway. Wow. Minus 11 here this morning. All right. When I said it was freezing here this morning, it obviously wasn't that fucking cold, was it? But it was cold. Minus 17 is too cold, yeah. The coldest I've ever experienced was minus 25 in Norway. And it's hard to describe what everything feels like at that temperature. Steven says 43 degrees Fahrenheit here in New York. Listen, fuckface, and the rest of America, get on board with the rest of the world and start calling it Celsius. You're literally the only country that fucks with Fahrenheit. Oh, it's 30. What does that mean? No one knows. Here's why Celsius is better. You know, when it's 0 degrees, it's freezing, right? And if it's minus some Celsius, it's really, really, really cold. Like these fuckers here with minus 11s and minus 17s, super fucking cold, right? At 100, shit boils, water boils. So everywhere in between, like 30s and 40s, double hot. 50s, not really good. 60s, you're not going to be alive very long, right? What the fuck is it in Fahrenheit? Who knows? I know that if it's 100, it's a hot one. Outside of that, I haven't a clue. Oh, it's 52 out. What does that mean? What does that mean? Clockwork says, does the temperature have an impact on how fast a football travels? Surely. Surely, but I don't know in which direction. Disco Stew says, evening. Chad says, United signed Jonathan David. If he's a good signing for Man United in January transfer window, it probably costs too much. We have, I believe, nothing. Wait. Callum Morrison just wins today. Minus 47 Celsius here tonight in Castor, Alberta. Fuck me. I mean, Canada gets fucking turbo cold. Oh my God. A golf ball travels slower in the cold. Football will be similar, I suspect. Well, yeah, my gut instinct was that cold air makes everything denser, so things would be fighting through more cold air particles, whereas in warm air, it's less dense. Therefore, it's less for it to travel through. In the sense that helicopters, when they're flying, I was in my old job in the army, used to work alongside helicopters. They're fine flying when it's cold, and often will fly at night because it's easier. Where when it's hot, I know that in Iraq, for example, the Lynx helicopter sometimes couldn't take off because it was too warm. Kieran says, have I noticed Sky Sports doing more positive stories about United in the past few days? Is that the Ineos effect? I haven't noticed that, to be honest. Jason says, Steve, it's mad how McTominay went missing in a championship midfield last night and Kobe looked like the only Premier League player in midfield. Sky's the limit for him. He's a baller. I agree with that. Inez says, I've heard you need to keep the cars going in that temperature. When it's I tell you what, when it's minus 49, how about I'm not doing anything anywhere? I don't even know if I'd be comfortable just sitting in my house at minus 45, minus 49 even. Fucking hell. That's so fucking cold. Jarvis Cocker says minus 30 in Bardufoss, northern Norway. Helicopters fly if they start. Well, yeah, there is on that. Sky Viking says worked in the Canadian Arctic for nearly 10 years. Just got to get on with it. And Bob Bates says, afternoon, Steve, butter chicken in 20 minutes. Fair play. Man, I want to go and do some winter skills and shit like that. I'm literally on a course in a few weeks doing some winter skills, ice axes, crampons, that sort of stuff for the IRL channel. And that's Scotland. on the top of the Cairngorms, up Ben Nevis, you might be like -7, -8 maybe, something like that. Sometimes gets to 10 or 12 if it's really windy, which it does get windy. But it's nothing dramatic like -20s and shit like that. And even though, some of that that scenery, especially in like the prairies of Canada and the Midwest in America, it can look super fucking dramatic, can't it? I don't Not that cold, at least. Anyway, fucking hell. But yeah, I've actually got all sorts of shit like that booked for the IRL channel. Let me know in the comments if you've seen the video that we did yesterday on the IRL channel about choosing a new vehicle, and let me know your thoughts on that video. We've got all sorts of other stuff planned. Tomorrow I'm off out on a hike. We are dropping my 5 favorite hikes video that's coming out soon. I'm also going to take you through my winter backpack, show you the sort of stuff that's in there, some of the survival things that I have, and also the axes and the crampons and the ropes and carabiners and all that kind of shit. So, there's going to be all sorts of things like that coming out on that channel, some camping, some things like that. So, GenTube says, try food on the IRL channel. Well, one of the food ones we will be doing is, I think it's on brand, really, is we're going to be looking at military ration packs. So I've got some British ones, and I will take you through what's in those and get some of them eaten. Super chat there from Nicholas Walker says, unpopular opinion, think we missed out on Werner. Workaholic with an exaggerated bad time, not to mention Champions League winner. Yeah, I think his bad time is exaggerated. Chelsea's not exactly a place where people are going and thriving at the moment. So, I think he could be useful for us, but as I said this morning, I also worry about the confidence of Højlund and how easily that could potentially be upset. Vinny says IRL video was class. Callum says, is it worrying you that there's lots of outgoing rumours but very few incomings? Not really. Kind of expect that. Get an Ineos Grenadier. I just got no desire for one, to be honest. I chose them 3 vehicles because I'm genuinely that is my short list of 3 vehicles. Danny says, hoping Baindir, Cambuala, Gore, Hugel get more than a half next round. Not sure, Don't know if they'll get that. Jarvis says, which part of Norway were I stationed during my service? I went as part of the regimental ski team, so I didn't do the cutting a hole in the ice and jump in the water and self-rescue stuff that they do. That you see quite a stereotypical sort of image of soldiers trying to repeat their number and then just failing as their mind melts with the cold. I was based near Lillehammer, a place called Svignol, if you know it. Mark says, cold can get in the bin, hot can get in the bin too. Just a happy medium is all I like a nice mild spring afternoon. Miles, Fahrenheit is to temp what stone is to weight. I'll give you that one. Have I been to Battus? No, I didn't go to Battus. Kietil says, great cars on the IRL. Am I going for the VW? You'll have to have a look on the next video and see. Alex says, heated body warmer is the way. Jason says, met you in Dublin for the paddock game. I put off my honeymoon to see the game. Glad to say, still married. And got my honeymoon in Manchester as well. Happy days. Fantastic. When you're coming over? M01 says, he may not be good enough, but he's also proved time and time again that he obviously works harder than the others, hence why he gets picked by 6 managers. Not sure who we're talking to there. Abhinav says, is Greg's something that can make it to the IRL channel? Not sure. MDRN Samurai says MREs are the best. Well, not necessarily. They do have some innovation in them, but I'm very biased, and I think the British ones are very, very good as well. But we'll get into that. Don't worry about that. Zoateng TV says, I agree Marshall had to go, but when will our McDonald's left back Shaw leave as well? He's always injured. He's actually not been that injured of late, but I guess he has been injured a little bit. He's missed quite a lot of games this season. Footy Mad says we should have beat Wigan more than 2-0. Totally agree with that one. Can I do a video on our crap dead ball play? I could, but there's not a lot to say, is there? Like, we're really shit defending set pieces and we're really shit attacking set pieces. That's kind of the fucking top and bottom of the analysis, isn't it? How's Paddock doing? We won at the weekend. We give the opposition a 2-0 head start and then scored 6 second half goals to win the game and put ourselves into the next round of the cup. Roy says, even when Sancho was playing in the team, he was crap for 2 years. I'm hearing this narrative that we ruined him. Oops. KFA Posse says, TA Outdoors has a Land Rover and a VW. I've found myself watching a few channels like that, and TA Outdoors is one of them. It's a good channel, but he has got like a couple of million subs, so it's one of those, isn't it? He can probably get both in. My IRL channel at the moment has 8,000 subs, so there's a quarter of you here that could go and subscribe to the IRL channel, and you'd be doing me an absolute massive solid, and I think you'll get quite an entertaining video. It's completely different to this. This whole me sitting here talking about football stuff, all of that is outside. The entire thing, there's me, and that channel so far has just got some random ass variety on there. It's got me walking 457 kilometers. There's me and Joel looking at the tornadoes in Qatar. There is military working dogs. There's me fucking about with a car. Doing exercises on a beach. It's a fucking mad channel, and where we're going to take it this year is even madder. So go subscribe if you're looking for something to get away from United for a little bit at times, because that's what it's going to be doing. Then you'll find it on there. Paul says, Mr. Rumdown, get it on the IRL. So the Rumdowns, I wouldn't mind doing, what's the channel name? C says it's Howson IRL, so Howson IRL, as in real life. What was I going to read then? I saw something and I've lost it. Jarvis says, there's British helicopter crew around here, goes by the name of Clockwork. Catch a glimpse of the massive Chinook flying overhead and every now and then. That thing is a beast. No shit. Callum says, I like Højlund, but I think it actually hurts our play with him sitting so far forward. All the forwards and Bruno could have far more joy if he tried coming deep. No, I don't think he needs to come deep. I don't think, though. I don't think so. I think he's all right where he is. Snowed in Ipswich, says Footy Mad. Wow. Yeah, the Rumdown, we had to stop it as often as we was doing it because we was getting fucked up. But I wouldn't mind bringing back specials. David Pearson says, I highly recommend Howson's IRL channel. And Tyler says, Howson IRL, quality content. Check it out. Yeah, go check it out. Go subscribe. Ian Pritch says subbed. And MDRN Samurai says subbed. Howson, Seamus says, Howson, what grade do you climb? 5, 6. No, I'm a big noob. So I'm just getting back into the mix with it. I started climbing in Manchester at Parthian. And I'm doing a couple of courses with them guys, but you know, I'm just dealing with getting the strength back in my hands. Realize how hard climbing is. Luckily, it's indoor, so yeah, we're just having a good time. I'm not an expert. I'm just an enthusiastic amateur, and I like it, so we're doing it. Roy says, Sancho got more than 2 years to make an impression and failed. To keep hearing this narrative, we didn't give him a chance. I bet everyone saying love Pogba too. Francis says, like the car video, touch of old Top Gear off it. Was there? I don't know if that was, but no, if you saw that, you saw that. But you know, you'll see which one we go for, and we'll see. But yeah, there's other ones. We're going to do an office tour. That's on the cards. What we've built over this side of the office. As you know, those will have noticed that it's gone from being white background to a black background. But yeah, there's all sorts of play, and hopefully it's going to be a source of a lot of fun. But I'm wrapping up now. Cheers for tuning in. There's 2,000 of you in here, so like this video. and then go head over to the Howson IRL channel. There's all sorts for you to watch, and honestly, it's different to football. But yeah, can I pan the camera? Let me just move the mic out of the way and see how far around it gets, because there's a lot of shit on this desk. But so United shirts, my coat, rest of the office, a load of the shit that's on the desk. You can just about make out there is some shit over there, but that's all you can get to see for now. But yeah, off to training after that. Hopefully build on the win that we got at the weekend. But go and head over to Howson IRL and let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you guys with another video in the morning. All right? Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.